Guys, welcome back to Over the Hump. Today we have three alumni as our guests. Can you guys introduce yourselves? Say your name, grade, sorry, name and date you graduated.
I'm Blake. I graduated 2017.
I'm Paolo. Oh, they're at the same time. Anyway, I'll go first. I'm Paolo Hernandez. I graduated in 2016.
I'm Rodrigo Bitong. I graduated 2017.
Thanks, guys, for joining us here today. Would you like to introduce our viewers to Patron Sports?
Well, essentially, Patron Sports, we are, I guess you could call us like a sports media platform. And essentially, we cover local sports here, ranging from the PBA, UAP, even all the way down to like high school sports as well. So, yeah, that's, I guess, a summary of what we are and what we do.
So is it just three of you who run it?
Yeah.
As of right now, yeah.
When did you guys start it up?
Last year, April, is when we officially started it. Right?
What inspired you guys to start Patron Sports?
For me, it was just I noticed that anytime that I actually wanted to find out information or like anything on sports here, whether it be UAP or PBA, it's always really difficult to find like any information. And for us, I guess we just kind of want to make it more easily accessible to do that. And yeah, pretty much it. Especially for the not so known, not so popular sports. Like obviously the basketball scene here, it's easy to find out anything. But when it comes to like UAP sports, like Rod plays baseball, I could never find out anything about the Ateneo baseball team when I was in the States. Like, it was impossible for me to find anything. So it's really about growing all sports here, not just the ones that are popular.
Yeah, and we've also the three of us have been, around sports pretty much our entire lives. So that also definitely played a big factor in, why we decided to start this whole thing.
Yeah, and basically we wanted to bring sports in how the culture is in America, how sports is always in your face, and every day there's something new about it and someone's watching something always. So we wanted to make sports that important in our own culture.
So yeah.
Okay, so going back to Patron Sports, how do you think you guys collaborated during these times?
I saw them today about 6 hours ago. So it's not really hard for us to collaborate because we see each other all the time. But also, even if we are away, it's things like Zoom make it really easy, or even FaceTime calls.
Yeah.
And then obviously, this is also Google Drive, so we can all work on one doc together. It's not that hard. Just gotta adjust.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're all together basically all the time. So it's not that hard to get together.
So what do you think the COVID pandemic did to the sports scene in the Philippines? Is it as strong as it is is it as strong now as it was a few years ago, do you think?
Definitely not, I would say. I think UAP being canceled was definitely a big blow to just the entire local sports scene here. Because UAP basketball here is one of the most popular sports, especially. A lot of fans get up to watch that. But I think all in all, though, it wasn't as terrible as I thought it would be because they were able to start out the PBA and it was a huge success. They were able to put up that bubble. And yeah, I think sports is slowly starting to come back as well. I don't know about UAP, but professional sports at least, the teams are starting to train the bubbles and all that. There was even the PFL, the soccer league, that they were able to hold that bubble there. So I think we did a pretty good job as a whole in terms of doing the most that we can during these tough times, lockdown. Yeah.
100%. I also think that maybe the sports scene has I think it's kind of grown a bit from all these. I feel like people know more about local sports now than usual. At least when it seems when I talk to people, they always hear about that girl Bianca that golfs.
Oh yeah.
Right? People talk about it more often than at least before.
Yeah. Because those athletes now, they're competing at an international level.
Yeah.
Alex Yalas of the world. So yeah.
Talking to see.
Can you guys like walk us through your process of like getting news and like putting it out there on your Instagram?
Or
I mean, there are actually a lot of like websites online that put out news fairly quickly. So like I don't know if you guys know like spin.ph, Tiebreaker Times, Inquirer Sports. So usually we'll go on those sites, get the news from there, or from other Instagram accounts, like local Instagram accounts that are here in the Philippines. And then that's, we get the news from there and then put it out on our own platform essentially. Yeah, that's pretty much our entire process.
yeah, it's not like we're like on-field reporters getting the information. Or something.
Yeah. We're not yet there. But we hope.
Not
to
there
be there.
yet.
Do you guys think your company's gonna grow into something like that someday?
Hope so.
Do we think so?
Yeah, you think it's gonna like reach that level?
Oh yeah, it is. 100%, no doubt.
Gotta be.
Like we have no doubt in our minds.
Just when you guys are like famous, we'll have this interview as sort of like evidence that we met you and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
So like while working on this project of yours, what do you think is like the most valuable like lessons you've learned so far?
Golf is hard.
That's
That's probably the biggest thing I've learned. Yeah.
I think the most valuable thing is that you just gotta keep going. Doesn't really matter. The more consistent that you are with anything, I think that it can have the potential to become something more. Like we used to have no followers whatsoever. It was basically us and our 12 followers. We were making posts. Nobody was doing anything. Now I guess we're seeing a bit more growth, and it's cool to see.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's really just from us being consistent, posting, and trying our best. So it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so thank you guys for coming on our podcast. Thank you for everyone watching. We hope you learned something. Stay clean in quarantine.
Oh, that's a good.
Oh, I like that.